Even if you already live in France, it can be really difficult to find the right atmosphere, the right environment, or even the right person with whom to practice speaking French. But with the availability of the internet, there really is no excuse to not find the right resource that meets your needs and your preferences. So today, I want to go through 3 of my favorite online resources to make the most of opportunities to speak French. All right, roll that intro. Salut tout le monde, my name is Alex, and if you're new here, I'm an Englishman living in Montpellier in the sunny south of France. For the last few years I've been learning the French language mainly through self-study, so here on my channel you find tips and tricks into how to speak the French language better, and also insights into living as an expat here in France. If you want to stay up to date with all my future content, please consider subscribing by clicking that big red subscribe button down below the video. But on to today's topic, and today I want to talk to you about 3 online resources which have helped me a lot to make more opportunities to speak and to get more out of them. But just before we go into it, I have already made a video on language exchange and how to make the most of it for you. So if you haven't seen it, I'll just put a link up here in the corner, so have a click on that. My number 1 resource is meetup.com. Now if you haven't heard of it, meetup.com is a website where you can find groups based around your favorite interests and hobbies. So this is perfect for language learning. Here in Montpellier, there are probably close to 10 language exchange events going on every week. Being a native English speaker, you really have your pick of the bunch, really, because most people want to learn to speak English. On Meetup, you start by searching for your location, and it will show you events based on your hobbies in your town or nearby, and you will most likely find group language exchange events. They either take the form of quite a structured format, such as WeGoLingo or Franglish, where you have 8 minutes on French, 8 minutes on English, and then you switch to the other language. Or there are more casual events where you go to, say, a bar or a pub and you just chit chat, and there are sort of loose rules about how long you should speak in a particular language. Here in Montpellier, the first place I went to make friends and also to practice the language was to a pub called Fitzpatrick's, and a group called Montpellier Internationals host an event at the pub every Thursday. It's still going now, and you speak about an hour in French, an hour in English, and it's very casual and relaxed, so if that's your thing, it's fantastic for that. And like I say, it shows you events both in your area and in nearby towns, so don't worry too much if you live somewhere quite remote or more rural, or with fewer language enthusiasts. You can always look to nearby towns. And if you still can't find anything suitable, or if you prefer to practice online via video, perhaps you aren't already in France, whatever it may be, then number 2 and 3 may just work better for you. All right, so number 2 is a website called conversationexchange.com. It's a website that is free to sign up to. You search for people in your area, in your vicinity, if you want face-to-face, in-person meetings. You look at their profile to see if it aligns with your personality, your interests, perhaps age of the partner is important to you. And what you do is you contact them, or they contact you, and you set up a one-on-one language exchange. You can either do this over Skype, or you can arrange to meet in person, or perhaps mix the two, meet online first and then go and meet in person. It's a great place to get one-on-one exchange time, and this is my preferred method of doing language exchange, because when I go, it's all about the language practice, and the friend-making part is a great side effect of it if it happens. But for me, as long as I get on with the person and I can practice French, that is the format that I choose. But this can be a great resource for you if you don't live near anywhere where there are public events going on. You can either arrange to drive and meet in the middle with someone, or you could just communicate over Skype. And by the way, all the links I mentioned today are going to be in the description box below the video, so don't worry if you can't note these down. And on to number 3, and this is my personal favorite. It's a website called italki.com. I've been using it since I've been in France, and I've used it in an array of ways. You can certainly use it for language exchange. There is a whole database of users looking for language exchange partners. They could be anywhere in the world. You add them as a contact, you communicate a little bit to see what their preferences are and what their requirements are, and then you just go ahead and you communicate over Skype or whatever video call technology you want to use. But it's one of the other features of italki that I've gotten the most out of, purely because I found that looking for language exchange partners which stuck around, or that I got along the most with, or could see a long-term exchange relationship developing from, just took too much time, and I was wasting time looking for the right person where I could just be practicing with a tutor. Now, a tutor on italki is someone who speaks natively or close to natively the language which you're trying to learn, in this case French, and for less money than a professional teacher who has qualifications in the language, you can get informal conversation. Now, you can do this even if you're at low level, as long as you're studying yourself and you know what you want to practice. Informal conversation can be fantastic. I've probably had between 5 and 10 different teachers on there. I love the flexibility because you can look at their calendar, their schedule, a teacher's schedule, and go and book when is convenient for you. One great advantage is that being that lots of teachers live abroad, live in other time zones, you can often get lessons early in the morning or late at night, whatever suits you. Whereas if you wanted a one-on-one tutor in person in the town where you live, it's probably far more expensive, and they only work when you're working or at an inconvenient time for you. So I really love italki for that, and I must say it changed how I learned French forever, because the way it works is just so flexible, and I like being able to practice from my own home, from where I'm comfortable. And being that I don't use it that much for exchange, I get all of the time for me and my French. But if budget is really an issue for you, then it has a fantastic language exchange feature on there. And I should just say, I'm in no way professionally affiliated with italki. I just love it as a resource, and I couldn't not recommend it to you. If you would like to try it out, I will put a link in the description below. If you sign up using that link, we will both receive $10, which is more than enough for 1 or 2 trial lessons to get used to the platform. So that's it. That's my 3 top resources for getting you active in speaking more French. No more using excuses about there not being anything available to you. When you have the internet, we can find anything. So that's all I've got time for in this video. Please let me know down below in the comments what you think, and please also let everyone else know of any other great online resources you found to help increase the amount of time you spend speaking French. If you enjoyed the video today, please click on the big like button down below, and to stay up to date with all my future content, please consider subscribing by clicking the big red button. And of course, I would love it if you could share the video with anyone who would get some value from it. But that's it for today. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. À la prochaine. Ciao. My favorite resources that I start recording a video and then my memory card fills up.